Okay, so today what we're doing is, you can kind of see my wheel. You can see how wide the body kit is. The body kit is about 75 millimeters wider than the original stock body. So my old car was 45 millimeters wider. So this wheel right now is going to be an 18 by 10.5 plus 15, or no, plus 20. I think it's plus 25. Yeah, it's plus 25. So I have a 10 mil spacers on there right now. But you can still see that it's kind of sunk. But originally I ran basically essentially the same spec, because right now it's about equal to 18 by 10.5 plus 15, and that was flush with my old kit, and same on a 265, 75, or 35, 18 tire. But the look is just, it's too sunk. I'm gonna get a wire tire because I need new tires anyways, but today we're just gonna put these spacers on. Essentially, just some things you'll need is you need a torque wrench so you can torque it after. I have a breaker bar here. You never want to break your lug nuts with your torque wrench, because that way it basically messes it up. Obviously, you'll need your spacers. So I bought these spacers. So they're 20 mil spacers. So that's 2000 hub bore, and the rear is 64. So this is 66. So it's going to go over that. And then this one didn't have the studs in there because I have extended studs. Because how most spacers work is that they have a stud that comes out. Let me grab them right here. So they have these studs that come out of the spacers. So what you do is you put the spacer on the hub, and then you tighten down the bolts that tightens the spacer, that secures the spacer to the hub, and then you secure the wheel to the spacer studs, which is not, it's just you're adding things together so that, it's not such a good thing. But I have extended studs, so that means that the stud just goes through the spacer and the wheel, and then you just tighten one bolt down. So then essentially it's safer. I know a lot of people have tracked on spacers. I myself have done it as well, and I haven't had any issues. So this is something you don't have to worry about. But let me jack the car up and take the wheel off, and then kind of show you guys how everything works. So right now I'm going to jack up the car as well. I'm using a scissor jack because that's all I have right now. But essentially when you jack up a car, when you jack up any car, you'll want to use jack stands underneath. But since I'm not getting underneath the car, the jack stand is going to be fine. And this is the only kind of thing that fits underneath my car because of the side steer and the body kit and everything. And so for your own car, you'll want to find the right jack point. But I've done this, and I've worked on S2000s for a fairly significant amount of time. So my old car was basically all just essentially just learning from my fuck ups. And so that's how I could do stuff better on this car. And then essentially once you jack the car up, since the handbrake is for the rear, you'll want to put something underneath the other side of the wheel so that the car doesn't roll back. And I already have that in there. Okay, looks like I need some, haven't worked out in a while. And so you just want enough to get off the wheel, and you'll want to break the lug nuts loose before you start lifting the car. But for the rear, it doesn't really matter because you do have the handbrake holding it. But that really depends if your lug nuts are over tightened or not. Okay, and then I'm going to take your lug nuts off. And then for those of you that have a wheel lock, always remember your wheel lock. Just so that way you don't run in a situation where you're just like, oh hey, I jacked my car up and everything, but I can't take the wheel lock off. So that's never a good thing. I don't know if anyone wants to sponsor me some lug nuts because I do need new ones. But like I said, I'm not a professional. So there are things that I'm not doing properly. Just by not having a jack stand underneath the car. Oops. And then another thing is when you're on track, you'll obviously be doing a lot of this stuff. And it's always cool just to work on your own car so you know everything that's on there. That'll teach you guys the right pressure, the right pound-feet of torque to put on your bolts to tighten them. Alright, so we're going to have all the lug nuts off. And then obviously put them in one place so you don't lose them. But not. So like I said, I do have that 10 mil spacer. Double checking if it's on. I have that 10 mil spacers on right now, and then this is the 20 mil. So you're on a slippery spacer on there. So right now it's off and everything, and then I have the spacer, so I'm gonna slip that on there. And then once the spacer is on, then you go on and find your bolt holes. Stick them back on. And then obviously you'll want to make sure that your studs are long enough for the bolts to tighten down securely. Hands are black. I do get my hands dirty. And then I guess I'll restart this after I put everything on. So once you have them all hand tight, you'll want to lower it so where that it's touching the ground. I don't know. There's two ways that people have done it. People have it where it's like just have it touch the ground, and then people just let it all the way down as long as it's hand tight, and then you torque it. I don't know. I just like to double check. So I do it like this first, and then I'll tighten it. And then sometimes you'll need an extension, because like me, it's so deep where it's like I scratch the wheel, the lip of the wheel, whenever I torque these things down. And then so when you are torquing, for my car I like to do 85. It should just be left on 85. Let me see here. I don't know who used my torque wrench last, but so I like to do 85. And this is how I am. Everyone's different, but it should be anywhere between like 75 and 90, and that differs per car. So supercars with the center lock, that's going to be different. You're going to need a really long breaker bar and a really long center lock. What is it called? A torque wrench. Wait, is it a torque wrench? Yeah, I think. But yeah, you're gonna want to use 85 pounds, like I said, and then yeah, for center lock you'll need something else. So then, whenever you torque wheels, you'll want to torque them in a star pattern. So you go from this bolt to the one directly across from it. That's how I do it, just so that way you get an even pressure on the surface of the wheel, because then that way you won't break your studs. Because if you just do it in a circle, the pressure is uneven on the surface of the hub and what do you call it, the wheel. So then you could possibly like snap your studs off and have your wheel fly off, which obviously isn't such a good thing. And then whenever you are torquing and braking stuff, you'll see me that I was kind of like doing motions that are like, you should go in a smooth, slow like this until it clicks, not something like you don't want to keep jumping on it until it clicks kind of thing. It's just gradually, and then you come back and make sure that all the bolts are up to spec. You don't necessarily need to do it in the star pattern, but I just like to, because just make it a habit so that way I'm sure that I'm not gonna have some shit like that go down. Just so, when you have muscle memory, that's just the best, because that way you'll always remember to do it this way, so you kind of reduce the chances of you fucking up and then causing a big issue. Maybe you're on track or on the street. And then just gonna drop it on the ground. And then so the suspension's probably not settled yet, so that's probably why it still looks so high. But with the 20 mil spacer, it is perfect. So it's essentially at a +5 offset right now. And it's pretty flush with the car, I would say. It's maybe like 1 or 2 centimeters away. But you can come kind of see it now. So you'll see that it's more flush, and then when you go to the other side, whereas you can still see that red on the side skirt, right? But coming here, it's not obvious. You can't see the red on the side skirt. So I've had too many people complain to me about the fact that, it's not, whatever, but these wheels were cheap. So I have NGTs, these are one of my favorite wheels, forged, same level as T37 or whatever, but people don't really know that. They think that it's just an Advan, but this wheel retails probably about 3,600 as well, 3,700, and this is gonna be 18 by 10.5. So the 19, 20, 21 sizes have better concave and better colors. This is dirty right now, but it's a semi-gloss black, whereas they do come in a gloss black for the bigger sizes. But yeah, that's it. You guys get to see how the finished product looks. You kind of get an idea how to jack up your car, take the bolts off, how to torque them. We're going to be trying to do more of these videos showing you guys how to work on your own car, because that's really how I learned. And don't be afraid to ask questions. But the thing is that there are stupid questions. A lot of times it's like you go on the internet, it's such a big tool that you can use. It's a big ass book basically. And you can search up anything you want instantly. So a lot of times, don't be that stupid guy in the group to ask a stupid question. Because it's something that's been answered and asked probably hundreds, thousands, millions of times. But all you need to do is essentially just type it up on your computer. You have a phone, you have whatever, go on Google, type it, learn it, do it yourself, get the tools. That's how you learn. I'm not an expert, but at least this stuff I know how to do myself. I can do it at home when I have some extra time, and at the same time make some kind of content for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and then we'll see you on, I guess, the next one of whatever the hell I'm going to be doing, which might possibly be painting my hubs black, but we'll see.